As you can clearly see, LeBron James, because your new trailer just debuted, I feel it's only appropriate that we do a dual look-at of two Looney Tunes basketball games, starting with this one for the Super Nintendo.
Oh.
Who's that supposed to be?
I remember when he used to be a thing, but he's not the star of this here game, and actually, that's the end of the game. That's all, folks. Roll the credits.
Whoop.
Oh.
Another day, another artistic triumph.
Yeah, not bad. Think you can keep up in a game of hoops?
This just went to a weird place.
Surely you jest. Lead the way, Rabbit. I've got more dunks than a donut shop.
Oh, that was not a ball.
That was a dog.
dog?
Hey, get back here. We need you to play the game.
Yep. Welcome to Looney Tunes B-Ball for the Super Nintendo. Well before we had the likes of Space Jam, this was technically our first real exposure to the idea of the Looney Tunes just playing some good old-fashioned B-Ball.
And if it's not immediately obvious, folks, yes, we are doing this whole thing in commemoration of the up-and-coming Space Jam: A New Legacy, coming out in theaters and HBO Max this July.
Which I am genuinely curious for.
Hype, surely you jest. You don't want to go taking on that kind of tough crowd.
Yeah, don't worry, like...
Do you dare to go beyond wacky?
Yeah, before you people judge me for playing at one difficulty, I'll say this right off the bat. The AI in this game is deceptively tough.
Oh.
Really?
Oh, no.
Well, I mean,
So,
we'll have
yeah.
to see. Oh, hey, Daffy.
Yeah, so basically to start off, we have a small roster. We have Bugs, Daffy, Marvin, Sylvester, Sam, Taz, Wiley,
Lyle.
and Elmer.
Elmer's bald.
So for Team 1, I'm going to choose my two favorite Looney Tunes characters. And for Team 2, I'm going to have Bugs, and why not? I'll have Sylvester too.
Okay.
Look at his hat. He's so ready for action. And then, again, I'm genuinely optimistic about A New Legacy. I think it's gonna be a fun movie. Hi, did you have any thoughts about the trailer?
I thought it was just a fun, stupid premise, especially with the 2D animation being prevalent and such.
Oh, yeah.
When he goes into
Yeah,
different
just over-
worlds. So it's
Yeah.
not just,
Just
like...
overall...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that wasn't
Hey, wait,
all.
Okay. Yeah,
I
probably should...
call that foul play.
Yeah, I should probably go into a bit of detail as far as the game here is. Basically, Looney Tunes B-Ball puts you in a 2v2 game of basketball. What Daffy did right there with the throwing pie thing, this game technically has a power-up system where when you collect money, you collect it by picking up any gems on the floor, and I think you also get it for shooting like certain dunks and whatnot. When you collect enough money, you can do like different power-ups. Like for example, you can throw like a cream pie to incapacitate foes. You can do like these special launches that guarantee you a hoop.
Ooh,
And it's just-
Rejected.
Yeah. And just overall, it's just a very kind of simplistic, just 2-on-2. Oh, and by the way, if you see Daffy doing like some random slaps to no avail, you can be able to steal the ball. However, in this game, it feels very unreliable. Like, there are times where I swear I hit the character, but it doesn't act like I technically hit him.
Oh.
fair. I was gonna say, beyond that, I'm not gonna mince words. So far, the gameplay looks very much back and forth. Like, you're good, but they're also good enough where it's like... Okay, well, I mean, it just kind of feels like we're just going back. So, is there any strategy to this?
They're kind of about as much strategy as there is in regular basketball.
Okay.
So basically, like, as far as
Nice.
swapping characters, like, whoever you picked as, like, your first player, like, if you're just playing regularly, the person you picked for the first player of your team is the only character you're playing as. So, for example, I have a team of Daffy and Taz. I'm only stuck with playing as Daffy, whereas the AI is the one controlling Taz.
Okay. James, did you ever play Looney Tunes B-Ball outside of the
Nope.
school?
In fact, honestly, up until Hype made me agree to help him out with this look at, this is literally the first I've ever heard of this.
Okay.
I mean, that being said, though, I will say, like, we all know that. I mean, everyone remembers, Looney Tunes and Space Jam and whatnot. Though some people might not know is that even before Space Jam was a thing, like, I know there was like this whole cross promotion between the NBA and Looney Tunes that there was like all these cameos where Michael Jordan and Bugs would be on screen together, and that's kind of where that whole movie idea stems from.
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
I remember those.
Also, I will say one thing, I'm a little bummed that I never got in the footage. Like, the beginning of each round where it's like the ball's about to drop, there's a slim chance that instead it will be an anvil, it'll drop through the floor, and the characters would be like, huh? Before the actual ball pops up.
Oh, so then you have to be... Oh, that's fun. So, and I'm assuming, Pi, you haven't really played any of these games? Because I've never even knew about these games myself, either.
Me either. I think the only Looney Tunes game I ever remember is Crazy Castle with Bugs Bunny. Well, because Angry Video Game Nerd, of course.
Wow!
Oh yeah, that was ages ago. Well, I guess if not that, I guess we could ask, I can get away with asking this right now, because, like, just as a bit of a heads up, between the two games, the footage of B-Ball is significantly shorter, because if you know how to handle it, this game is a breeze to go through.
Fair.
Oh, I mean, it clearly looks like it. And I mean, I'll definitely say this much. The game, like, this game definitely looks like it's riddled with jank, but I'll definitely give credit where it's due. Like, the sprite work for it doesn't look half bad.
Yeah, it's smooth enough. It's nice animation. This.
Oh yeah, it has a really
Nintendo
nice
for
sense
you.
of presentation, I'll give it that much. But anyway, like I said, since the footage here is short, I don't feel bad about, like, switching topics. Like, we talked about, like, our thoughts on the new
Actually,
trailer.
you say that. I'll just say one last thing before we just move on from this completely. It's just, I look at Sylvester's costume and I just think, good lord, you can't get any more 90s than that.
How do you do, fellow kid? I can't do the spittle right now, but how do you do, fellow kids?
How do you do, fellow putty tats?
I did see a putty cat.
Where my putty tat fat?
Did they actually get I'm forgetting his name.
Joel Lasky.
I was gonna say, did they actually get him to do the voices for this game, or are they archived clips?
They're archived clips. I think it was Greg Burson that does it. He's one of the back when they were still, like, the idea of getting Mel Blanc stand-ins was still fresh. He was one of the earlier ones. Like, I think before the likes of, say, Jeff Bergman and whatnot.
Oh.
Yeah. Or Joel Lasky, who, you know, he pretty much was the de facto voice of Sylvester and Daffy for the longest time up until his passing.
Yeah.
Sylvester, Daffy, definitely Marvin, and to a slight extent Bugs, because I do know they, like, swapped back and forth with him for a while.
A
Yeah.
few times, yeah. Which is
Like
and now,
I know definitely voiced him in Back in Action movie.
and now
And the
it,
game, too.
and now it sounds like we have the Looney Tunes show actors in the new Legacy, or
Yeah, at least one of them. Bergman is back as Bugs, Sylvester, Foghorn, and I want to say he might be back as Elmer, because I know that's who he voices in the Looney Tunes cartoons.
I thought they got Baza for the movie.
Boz is in the movie still, but he's voicing Daffy, Marvin, and Tweety.
Gotcha.
so they're kind of mix and matching. All right, fair enough. Bad, you win.
Oh.
Now then, let's move on to let's move up a generation.
Yep, and now for a game where everybody loses.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, because, like...
this is license plate. Oh, it was
No,
like, oh damn.
it's
okay,
But
full,
yeah, just as a...
full disclosure.
just-
Oh, go ahead.
But just as a bit of a heads up, like, just my final thoughts on B-Ball real quick, because this is a bit of a slow presentation. It's like, it is definitely jank, but I'll admit there's like a slight, like, ultimately it's pretty harmless. However, I was trying out both these games in preparation because I was originally going to play both games, but this game isn't really that much better. If anything, I'd say it's a lot worse, to a point where I was kind of frustrated with practicing for it, and I kind of asked James if he could be the one to do this semi-stead.
welcome.
Space Jam.
Amusingly enough, this the game adaptation of Space Jam was made by the exact same people that did B-Ball, and I mean, there's some cases where it does look a little better, but in other cases, yeah, it is definitely a little worse.
And I'm bummed because I just realized, oh hey, it's what's his face,
Shrackhammer.
Trackhammer, thank you. And I feel bad because, like, I'm looking at this and, like, I loved what is it with Acclaim Studios. I guess full disclosure, I'm still working on footage for, like, us doing commentary of the Turok series, and that was
Also,
done
as
by
a-
Acclaim, and I thought they did a fantastic job with that. But go ahead.
Also, as a heads up, whenever you play this game, make sure goaltending is turned off. That basically penalizes you for trying to block a shot.
Oh.
Yeah, and
There's your
considering
controls.
that's like the only way you're really going to be able to deflect shots in this game, not entirely fair.
Those
So
are
at
some-
least they give you the option to actually turn that off, so it's not quite annoying. And yes, you do have the option to pick between the Toon Squad and the Monstars, but let's be real here, who's going to be picking the Monstars in this era of the 2020s?
Look at
Oh,
smug
that
Michael
looks
Jordan.
weird.
It's just pixel. It's just all compression. So first off, tell them why this game is broken. Hype.
Well, I will say, like, in terms of gameplay, it's not that much different. I will say, like, it is a bit easier than B-Ball. I would say to an almost brain-dead sense. Oh yeah, this is also like the introduction of Lola and whatnot.
Yes.
The thing
And
that
then there's
makes
Mike.
this a little bit.
He looks
who
so
is?
damn
Yeah, it's like Michael. If you wanna basically guaranteed win, always pick Michael.
Yeah, because the
Oh.
other twos are practically underpowered compared to him.
Well,
Oh,
because
okay.
I'll
Well, I think I
definitely
only.
he's a player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, one thing I'll definitely give Space Jam is that I do like the presentation in a sense of, like, you actually have, like, these cute different animations for all the characters whenever you do pick them, like with Porky there wondering where the ball went and whatnot.
It went
Right.
up his butt.
But man, some of these JPEGs are just too bad. Like, they're just way too grainy for words.
Oh, and
But,
then with Times New Roman font, we actually have these little mini games
Oh.
that begin before the actual basketball tournaments themselves.
before the actual basketball tournament and during the intermissions. More on that later. But for now, we're gonna go help Mike get his stuff back.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause-
Yay.
Yeah, because you remember the scene from the movie where Bugs, for some reason, is just chilling back. Now it's only Daffy that's going to be getting the stuff, as
God,
well
that
as
dog.
one of the mini monsters who wasn't even in the scene in the movie.
Yeah, I
he's-
remember the scene from the movie.
He's just here because it would make the gameplay more quote unquote interesting.
So
Even though it's not quite, like, Daffy here controls very loosely.
that dog is so
since-
rotoscope, it hurts.
So, yeah. So, James, were you the one who recorded this footage?
I did.
What did you think of this?
I guess if it does mean anything, I actually had to do like a second recording of this just because I thought the first take wasn't all that impressive, and I did. I was able to figure out some of the jank behind this game and actually make myself not look like an incompetent fool. So I was actually able to find both his shorts and his shirt. In my previous attempt, I was only able to find like all copies of his shoes.
All of his
Yeah.
shoes.
I will admit the other article of clothing is really tricky. You're technically supposed to do a precise jump from on top of the fireplace. At least that's how I did it.
But yeah, honestly, gameplay's not too much different from B-Ball. It's a little more jank, and honest to God, I swear that dunking in this
Ugh.
game is borderline random.
It kind of is. And also, as you can tell, like, it's also a lot slower paced. Like, you do have a dash function, which, to this game's credit, it does a much better job of letting you know it exists, unlike in B-Ball. But overall, it's just a lot slower paced.
Honestly, though, I don't even know how the hell you even dash in this game. Like,
it's one of the-
even the button combinations tell you how.
It's
yeah?
the L1 button, not R1 button.
R1, but that didn't show up. I don't remember seeing that on the control screen at all. Porky. Nice.
And again, this is why you keep Michael on your team at all times, because he's the only one that can
Yeah,
actually
and plus he's
defend the
tall.
hoop worth a damn.
Right.
Yeah.
So apart from the apart from the McDonald's sponsorship I see over there, and some cute little Looney Tunes
Oh yeah.
cameos in the background. I think the sprite work on the Monstars is neat. Like,
It's alright.
This looks janky.
but
Very, very janky.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
most
just like-
basketball games at this time were.
And much like Hype said earlier, it does feel very much like you get a point, then they get a point, then you get a point, and they get a point. It's very hard to really put it more forward into your favor. Unless you have Mike on your team and not slipping around like a goddamn fool.
See, I
Yeah.
think something like this could work.
And again,
oh, yeah, and then, of
dunks
course,
are
the finale
random.
move.
It feels, at least they feel random anyway, because that's like the one other time I was able to actually get one with
Right.
just him extending his own arm like in the movie.
Yeah, the old finale move. But I mean, okay, yeah, I think if there's anything that can be learned from the first, if there's anything that can be learned from the first, from this game or with any other sports game, is I think that this will work much better if they went
Oh, yeah.
wild and wacky like Mario 3v3 does.
There's that, and if stealing and passing passing works fine enough, but stealing or dunking actually worked. Because I think
Yeah.
like there is a foundation for a decent enough game here. It's just it's still riddled with the typical
Yep.
acclaimed published jank.
Yeah, that's like...
Nice.
It's kind of funny, like, I agree that, like, the whole stealing thing is definitely an issue carried over from B-Ball, but I feel like B-Ball does a little bit better about, like, the zaniness, because, like, Like for
pies
example, you
and
have that wackiness factor there, that the wacky meter there that I didn't really touch, and there are also like elements of it, like with the power-ups and like the random
And those
anvil you can get
loading
now and then.
screens.
Michael, he's our man. If he can't do it,
Something. Sorry.
So yeah, in between each round of b-ball, you get either a substitution option where you get to replace one of the members of your team, or a choice of these 3 random minigames.
Which
Well, not random; they're always the same, but
Yeah, basically you play these mini games. I guess I think the point of them is to literally extend, like, they're supposed to give you like a sort of advantage if you actually win them.
Makes sense.
yeah. And I'll say, just right from my personal experience, Hall of Hijinks is probably the most frustrating to play because it is almost impossible to actually get a Devil Damn Ball in this thing.
At the same time, though, I mean, don't count yourself completely out, because sometimes you can end up winning the game by complete fucking happenstance.
Like what we may be seeing today, maybe? Oh, jeez. We'll see.
It's literally just a shooting gallery.
So,
No, it doesn't matter whether it's the monsters or the tunes, whatever. Anything's free game.
Or Michael Jordan.
Yeah, or yeah, exactly.
Which, okay, yeah, so spoilers, since this is actually not only going to be a look at, but a commentary now of the Space Jam game, because it is that
Yes.
short.
It's literally after this is all said and done, if you do end up winning the game, credits roll.
Yeah,
So,
there
with that,
there is an option. I'm sorry, like there is another option called the Intergalactic Tournament, but basically all that really does is it forces you to play like 5 consecutive rounds of the game, but you have to swap out each of your characters except for your captain after every game, and you're forbidden from playing as Michael.
Oh. But
You won.
Michael's OP, man.
That's
Exactly.
You won somehow.
Damn it.
But, yeah, I was going to say, so since we clearly now have
and here are the results from tonight's Hall of Hijinks.
how'd it go?
I
Well,
was able to
I think he
meter
won.
I was able to get a few of my rebound. I mean,
Oh,
that's
nice.
nice.
That's a meter, I guess.
Told
But
you
yeah,
not to call her doll.
so I guess, since, we're going to be here for a little while, I can shift topics again real quick, I guess, to, so, oh yeah, he's also swapping out his characters. When the first Space Jam movie came out, I remember it being just a whole, like, it was practically like, wait a minute.
Doop.
Oh, he exploded.
Oh, and he
That's
killed
Lola.
Lola. Jesus, you killed her. But no. Hey, Foghorn.
Come on, let me at him.
I'll say, boy. Alright, moving on. So,
You're too young to be playing. I say you're too young to be playing this sport. Nice kid, but about as round as this here basketball. You know what I mean?
his brain's about as
You do a
smooth as his
good
basketball,
Foghorn.
too. Anyway, moving on. So, yeah, when the Space Jam movie came out, like, I just remember it being such a, like, I don't want to say, it's not revolutionary, not a masterpiece. I guess cultural phenomenon, I guess, is more accurate to say. Like, I just remember, like, being this whole, like, just the concept alone was so baffling that it's become one of the more memorable, like, wacky movies to try to explain to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
For better or worse.
Yeah, it definitely has a massive cult following behind it, and to the point where the Devil Name website for the first film is still active after all these years.
Even
Yeah.
after they updated
Well, it changed, actually.
No, but,
Well,
but,
no,
but
actually-
they saved it.
Yeah, that's the thing, Pi. Like, if you use the link, it takes you to the website for a new legacy, but if you click a little icon on the corner, it will still take you back to that old 96 website.
Yep, they preserved
Whoa.
it. Yeah, they understood the
They
cult.
preserved the baby.
They considered it. But yeah, it's I like the 2D animation. I like what it did with it. The premise of was it just meant to be an NBA commercial? Was it just actually meant to be an original story that they just really believed in, or?
Again, I just think it was
We
made.
may never know.
Again, I think it was primarily made as an extension to all those NBA related adverts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe it absolutely. But yeah, that's just
Ooh,
all.
nice.
I remember. I don't remember seeing it in theaters. I remember owning it on VHS, and
More or less all in
Same
theaters.
here.
and I mean, more so than the movie itself. At times, I do remember, like, the soundtrack to it. Things like "I Believe I Can Fly." Of
that
course,
is-
everyone remembers the Space Jam theme song.
Like, that
and-
is
I
something
wonder
that
if that's on Spotify.
I wouldn't be surprised,
Especially
but
the new one. I like the remix for it.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that is honestly something that still baffles me. Like, You know, the Space Jam theme, you know, Space Jam, that is its own thing, but all the other songs on the soundtrack, you know, like I Believe I Can Fly, For You, I Will, it's like, they are some of the most beautiful R&B songs that I've ever heard that have nothing to do with the movie it's tied to.
Yeah, it's that I also saw as like maybe like it was a more cultural thing for like the R&B community and stuff. There was that. There was this a song that had Y'all Ready for This, or was that different?
Y'all ready for this?
Was that in this one? Or was
It was featured in the movie, but I don't know if it was made for it.
Fair.
It's pretty much it was pretty much yeah, kind of like freaking I believe I can fly. I'm pretty sure it was just added to the movie. It was never meant to be part of it, but it just fits so well.
So, James, what did you think? Also, nice lead so far.
Don't.
Yeah, get the hell out of here. Anyway, James, I was gonna say, what do you recall? You're older than me a bit. What do you recall of the Space Jam movie, Pops?
I mean, I remember watching it. I remember liking it a fair bit when I was a younger kid. Again, just because of the novelty of the Looney Tunes actually playing basketball with with an actual NBA superstar. Even though I had very little idea what the hell an NBA was, but otherwise, I mean, I did take the time to rewatch it like some time ago before it was pulled off of HBO Max. For all I know, it's probably back on there because reasons. But I rewatched it. Still pretty damn stupid, but in a fun kind of way.
Yeah, like, it really is just one of those films where it's like, it's not really meant to be taken seriously, but it's like, it's just like harmless popcorn. Oh boy.
What the?
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, so for this minigame, we need to find all the stashes of Mike's secret stuff.
Wow.
And this is probably one of the more jank minigames, because what you're supposed to do is that, like, you're supposed to stand completely still in front of these lockers, and then use the D-pad to shuffle between each one of the doors.
Yeah, I mean, on my first time...
Yeah, the song, Y'all Ready for This, like, from the movie, wasn't made for the movie.
Yeah, I figured.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I looked it up. I did a Google.
Coincidentally, freaking Danny DeVito over there is actually here trying to sabotage the whole thing, even though he had absolutely nothing to do with this in the movie.
No, this is...
Wait, Danny DeVito's in this movie?
Yeah.
Danny DeVito. He was the voice of Shrekhammer there.
The villain.
Oh, yeah. I just remember Bill Murray was a part of this movie for some reason.
I remember.
And then that one guy from Seinfeld was in this movie, too.
Oh, yeah, Wayne Knight.
Oh, Wayne Knight?
He was in this.
That's him.
I forgot who played Michael Jordan's wife. I don't know if it was his actual wife or not.
I don't remember.
I also don't know about his kid either. I don't know how far this rabbit hole goes. And done.
Well, that's how far it went.
I guess so. Look how smug he looks. He knows what this. He knows how much effort went into this game.
Yeah, and again, it's so like this game is like the freaking epitome of implying just JPEG sprites everywhere, and it's like it's not even that well cleaned up, whether it be the in-game sprites or all the still images like this one. It's like it's kind of embarrassing in a way.
Yeah, it somehow has both good and bad production values.
I mean, that's cost cutting for you.
Let's see, who are we gonna be next? Oh, that's a cute one. Doop! Oh, he had Tweety the whole time.
Huh, you almost got him. Nah.
How would I know? Let's see. Are you gonna... Yeah, my boy!
Hey, Tessie.
Oh, yeah, didn't he get canceled?
Peppy? In this day and age, he probably would.
Yeah.
No, he did. He did get canceled.
well,
he wasn't...
Actually, yeah, you're right. There was something where, like, either they had filmed it or it was in the original script, but they wrote him out of it.
Wait,
Yep.
so Peppy's not gonna be in a New Legacy?
Nope.
Oh, that's
But
interesting.
somehow, Speedy Gonzalez is in the movie. Thank God.
Yeah.
Well, I'd hope so. He's like, there was really nothing offensive about him. I mean, hell.
No! They thought it offended Mexicans, and us Mexicans over here like, we like him, he's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's pretty much done the thing they feared done right.
And you know what? I will say,
Yeah.
since we're talking about this, I will also say one thing about New Legacy, and also kind of like a low blow to Looney Tunes cartoons. New Legacy had the balls to remember that Sam uses guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shoot the ball.
Listen, I'm not gonna. And again, luck prevailed. I actually got a dunk with Taz. And, okay. Just
What the
add
heck?
insult to injury there.
That is
Nice.
one thing I will give this game. Like, when you do get to see them, this game has a lot more variety in dunking animations. Like Sylvester here,
Oh, damn.
one of his dunking animations actually has Tweety helping him by lifting him by the tail.
Aw, that's adorable. A little Sonic Heroes,
Kind of.
but Looney.
We got
And
this.
Toonie.
But James, how did it feel replaying this?
Rejected.
Some things are better left in the void.
I like how he had his
That's-
arms out while he was
That's
doing
Michael
that.
just coming in for Landon. But yeah, it's
It's just again, I do think there is a solid foundation. It's just they needed better programmers.
yeah, and
Oh,
it needs. I think watching this play on from me, it needs better game feel to like really feel like you have control of the situation when it feels like you said, it feels like it's a coin toss whenever you aim.
It doesn't help either that this game was released right around the same time that NBA Jam was already a thing.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah,
competition there.
ooh, bad timing, bruh.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, good pass.
Oh boy.
Oh, but I mean, like, dunked
Well, I
away.
guess since we're just talking about, just going back a bit, okay, we just got James's thoughts on the first Space Jam. Did you give your thoughts on it, Pi?
I don't think I have.
Well, then why don't you
why
get
don't
Are
you
we
go
talking
ahead.
Space Jam the game or Space Jam the movie?
the movie? I don't think anyone here worth their salt, aside from me, has actually taken the time to play this game.
Yeah.
That's true.
I have a funny story with that, but I'll let Pi talk about the movie first.
Okay.
It was a stupid, fun movie. I enjoyed it as a kid. I want to rewatch it again. There, now your turn.
Alrighty.
Well, I was about to say,
Hype?
it's funny that you make that jab about, like, no one really playing the game. I remember when I was younger, I went to visit Dad. He actually had a copy of the game, and I actually remember playing a bit of it when I was younger. Although, going back, like, prepping for this, younger me must be a much better game than I am now, because going back to this, I did not remember having a miserable time going through it as I did prepping for this look at.
Yeah. So there are some things that. Oh yeah. Speaking of Speedy Gonzalez, he is the host of the Space Race.
I wonder if we're gonna see him in the new movie.
Gonzalez! The fastest mouse in all of Mexico.
And before anybody gets
Thank you.
upset, Mexico loves him.
Yeah.
They love him, and I don't know. And I wonder if I don't know if he's gonna be in I don't know if he's gonna be in New Legacy or not. But
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
They
yeah,
just-
he is. He's played by Gabriel Iglesias.
oh really? Oh
Really?
wow. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
It's
Even Gabriel made a post like, if you guys are going to cancel this movie, I'm just going to post Speedy Gonzalez all over my Twitter.
Yeah.
that'll be
If you're going to get
interesting.
upset over a little Mexican mouse.
Also, I do not remember I don't remember the game Space Race looking quite like this
I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
because they actually that's what I mean. They did make another Looney Tunes game just called Space Race, which is basically spacey
Yeah.
Mario Kart.
Interesting.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Which I mean, somewhere down the road, we should give that a fair showing. Just you know, it's got its moments. But yeah, no, the whole point of this Space Race is that you pretty much want to very much off screen on the person in last place. And that bar up there, that bar up there is to feel whatever score you're going to earn if you off screen them.
Oh my God, James! You know what? I just realized what this game created.
What's up?
In a sense, with what they're doing here, they had the prototype to that one game, Speedrunners, all along.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, damn.
That
That's
one
exactly what
platformer.
this is. It's proto speedrunners.
Oh boy.
Which is a cool platformer, but I don't know if I'd be good enough at it. Like, it looks crazy, like competitive or crazy, well, fast. But I'll just.
But yeah,
Yeah.
just real quick, I did want to give my own thoughts about
Go
like
for
the
it.
first Space Jam movie itself. In that, it's not. I wouldn't say it's like that dissimilar to what other people say. Where it's like, I definitely remember it being like a massive, like, big deal for the longest time. Like, people just adored this film. Like, and to this day, you'll still have a lot of people that do. Even though I personally think Back in Action's a better film. But
Oh, yes.
I
Definitely
haven't.
same here.
Yeah, but continue.
But it's like, at the same time, I kind of do, like, respect the impact that it has, and I'll admit that there are some things that I do find charming about it. And that does get carried over to A New Legacy, and like I mentioned before, A New Legacy, from what I can see, definitely goes a lot more go for broke than the first film did, but honestly, I feel like that kind of, at the time, makes it look like a better movie.
Yeah, I mean, whether it will
Yeah.
be a better movie by comparison, we're just gonna have to wait till it actually does come out. Which I guess, speaking of which, why don't we talk about our current thoughts on what we've seen based on that trailer?
Okay.
Oh,
I'm with Pi in that the already in that new trailer, or I guess the first official
Screw
trailer.
this.
Yeah, you're like
Oops.
done. In that first official trailer, the sudden like jump into like full on 2D animation for everyone, including LeBron James. Like pleasant surprise. I'm happy to see a Titan media company still embracing 2D animation in their projects wherever they can.
Take notes,
really-
Disney.
And I
It's
don't.
really funny, actually. Like, you mentioned the 2D LeBron James. Seeing that was really cute. It also kind of highlights something that I'm surprised we never saw in the original Space Jam.
Yeah.
2D Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, it's like, aside from one sequence where Schwackhammer was talking about putting Michael to work on his amusement park. Oh, I
Right.
love this. Oh, Daffy. I'm available for endorsements.
No, we know. McDonald's is already part of this game. And hey,
Yeah.
Bugs, for the
But
grand
yeah, it's like,
quarter
aside
finale.
from-
Oh, show off.
Well, of course, it's Bugs. But, like, aside from one moment where, like, Schwackhammer is reminiscing about making Michael the star of his amusement park, there really was never an instance of, like, a fully 2D Michael in that film. And just seeing 2D LeBron makes it realize, man, that first movie really dropped the ball on that.
But
Yeah.
I'm Tish.
Ball.
Instead we got weird live action CG gags instead. Anyway.
Yeah, back when CG was still kind of fresh.
No. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. Ultimately, and no, I don't care that they're doing a Ready Player One thing. At least
He shoots! He scores!
he scores. All right. I would argue and say that I
That
think
should
one-
count for double points!
Yeah. I was gonna say.
You'll argue that.
No, that's fine. I was gonna say.
Oh, thank God.
I would argue
one
that-
other character besides Michael that I could actually say more than Dan.
It helps the game. And go, Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael, take a seat, Michael. Anyway, that it actually makes sense for all those Warner Brothers properties to be there, given the context of the film. It didn't make the most sense in Ready Player One, besides just let's our
Let's
in-world
put the Iron
avatars can look like
Giant in there and
anything.
have him shoot laser beams.
Our in-world avatar can look like anything. Let's just do this. So I think it's going to work. I think it's going to be fine given the context of where they are. I'm going into the movie being hopeful that it's going to be a silly, fun movie. What do you think of it so far, James?
Well, what I'm thinking is that they missed an opportunity in this game to give a quick cameo appearance by the Dover Boys.
Yeah.
You know what? Considering how deep cut they're going with all the Easter eggs in A New Legacy just from that one trailer, I wouldn't put it past them to put the Dover Boys in there somewhere.
Or Dan Backside.
I mean, the Dover Boys are already in the original Space Jam as part of the crowd.
Yep.
Well,
Just
I'm
put in
talking about
Dan
like all of
Backside
them,
or
even
something.
Dan.
Fucking damn
Whoa.
backslide, yeah.
I would like that. But no, there's going to be a lot. So I guess that's his take. Hi, buddy. What is your take?
Well, I already mentioned like my thoughts about how like I kind of appreciate going like insane with it, like even more so than the first one, I would argue, because it's like when you look past the inherently weird premise, for the most part, Space Jam kind of plays the whole premise a little safe. It definitely doesn't look like that's the case with New Legacy.
No, and I mean, I guess that is actually one thing I will definitely say regarding the trailer. They make it very fucking clear, like, that all those extra cameos from, like, everything else that Warner Brothers technically owns is meant to be part of the crowd. They're not meant there to be, like, hinted at playing a bigger role, like, freaking Worlds Unite tried to do and completely flopped on.
Yeah.
You did the
Yeah.
showstopper finisher from the movie. Now, get the last-minute pointer, Monstar. Okay, but that's...
I kind of want to see a cameo of Michael B. Jordan in that. Oh my God, his arm stretch.
Yeah, actually, I wonder if
Oh,
Michael
yeah, well,
Jordan is
that's-
going to be brought up.
Yeah,
or
again, that's what
mentioned
happened at the end of the
sequel.
movie.
But,
And so the Toon Squad saves the day.
Yay!
they win. No slavery today.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
Only to their Warner Brothers overlords.
Oh.
Yeah, as a reminder, that was the whole plot. The only reason they partook in this basketball game is because they made a deal with the Monstars, basically like, we are gonna pick a sport that if you beat us at, we'll be your slaves. If we beat you at, you'll let us free. And I like that logic of like, okay, these are small, stubby-armed shrimps. Let's pick a sport that would be physically impossible for them to be good at. until they eventually get the magic mojo to make them good at it.
Yeah, gonna be real here. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
gonna be real here in that the logic as to why they chose basketball made more sense because that was just Looney Tunes logic. In the movie, it's gonna be a little bit interesting to see how a computer AI justifies basketball.
Well, to be fair, it's already the fact that LeBron James is in there. Challenge him what he does best.
That is fair. That is fair. So
Yeah.
And so, credits roll.
now it's really all folks.
Mm-hmm.
Show the same thing from the title screen, and there they are, Tom and Rich and Judd and
The Tom and Rich Show.
John seriously looks like a freaky budgeted Nicolas Cage there.
I want to watch. I want to watch the
Kinda
show about these
is.
dudes. And scene.
Oh my
name
god,
and
it
address
is
withheld.
Nick Cage!
Name and address withheld. I guess while we watch these short credits, was there anything else we wanted to talk about with the new Legacy trailer? Like, the only thing that comes to mind is that, like, I know your guys' thoughts. I don't think Pies ever brought it up, but what are your thoughts on the fact that they're actually getting Zenyatta as Lola for it?
I kind of like it. And also seeing, I think it's Don Chino is his name, as the bad guy
Yeah.
for the whole thing. Yes, War Machine from the MCU
Donald
is
Duck,
the
I
bad
think.
guy.
It'll
And
be
Donald
Yep.
Duck, yeah.
Yeah, it will be interesting, and I'm going to be hopeful about Zendaya. I will admit I her name is not her name. Her voice is not fresh enough in my head to like wonder like what it's gonna sound like, if they're gonna have her do any sort of voice or just talking to the microphone and we'll make that Lola.
I imagine she'll just do her natural voice, because that is the one thing I'll say about Lola, which is why I'm not too bothered by the new voice, is that, like, say, for example, you have someone like Daffy. Daffy has a very particular voice, you know, it kind of, like, has, like, that higher pitch and also has that distinct lisp. So whenever you voice Daffy, you're gonna have to put in the effort to really get that Daffyisms when you do the voice. Lola is
Yeah.
a character any female can voice her. She doesn't really have, like, a particularly distinct voice, and I feel like
She's
that's...
just female.
Yeah.
I think
Although,
that's fine.
truth be told, I kind of wouldn't mind if you know, the freaking what's the bar, like the expectation to set were, you know, from the Looney Tunes show, because that was actually the best interpretation of the
Oh
character.
yeah.
Oh,
Just making
yeah,
her
definitely
crazy
so.
and stuff. But
So crazy yet so casual in her tone.
so that said,
Oh yeah, I'm about to run over this guy who's just crossing over the
Yeah,
street.
that's
Boop,
right
it's
there.
bugs.
yeah. So that said, sure. I guess if they make some sort of licensed Space Jam game, I don't think they are. Shovelware just. ain't what it
Well,
used to
actually,
be.
hold on, Logan.
What?
You say that. Remember a while back when both LeBron James and a 2D animated Bugs Bunny were, you know, pretty much inviting anyone and pretty much everyone and anyone to make a Space Jam centric sort of game.
Oh,
No.
Now, whether they follow up on that is, you know, remains to be seen. But there's going to be something coming out of that, whether we like it or not.
All right, so I guess stay tuned for that, and we'll hopefully time recording that in such a way where we can show off, where we can talk about our thoughts, spoiler-free thoughts on the movie in July sometime.
But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let us wash our hands of this Michael secret stuff and play a basketball game that's actually worth its bread and butter. Till next time, guys.
See ya.
bye. That's all, folks.
We gotta get new agents. We're getting screwed.
Stonehenge.